My name is BenFlyingRetro, and I'm embarking on a quest to purchase every classic GI Joe comic from the original 80s and 90s Marvel run.
Warning.
Hunting down individual issues from every corner of the globe in whatever order the universe decides to give me. Join me and my pal Steve every week as we discuss my latest find. Welcome to Chasing Joe. Chasing Joe.
It's Thursday, it's episode 66 of Chasing Joe. Everyone said it couldn't happen. Everyone said we wouldn't make it past episode 2, but here we are, sitting on top, Mountain 66. I'm talking to S-Jubs. He lives in a whole different continent. How are you? Where are you?
Schlaapstad, which means sleepy town, just a play on words. I'm in Cape Town, Ben.
Yeah,
I'm
you
in
are.
my family home. This morning we were raking leaves with Grandpa. My kids really love getting involved, man. Anytime they can get the clippers out, woo-hoo-hoo.
I love
Give a boy
that.
a hammer. Give a boy a clipper. He will clip everything in sight. Useful. You want to trim the hedge.
They are born understanding tractors, diggers, and tools. I don't know how, it's just in there. They just
I don't know, dude. I call it just they were born understanding entropy. They like to destroy things. Any means necessary.
Yeah, your life in Cape Town sounds like a idyllic children's novel, like The Faraway Tree or Roald Dahl. Although
I'm not being ungrateful, I'm soaking it in because this is a rare and wonderful thing. My kids are getting to live my childhood.
Lovely.
In a sense. And not least of which because of all this old tat that's behind me right now.
Oh, yeah, I see a
all
cobra
my
bug.
Toys, cobra bug, yeah, ooh, there it is.
Yeah.
We've got this side, the warthog. I feel very balanced having a warthog on my one shoulder and a bug on the other.
Yeah, it's a fine
Big boy,
shelf.
88.
Is this your room? This is a different angle.
I've switched the laptop around. I'm
Yeah, you
now
switched.
with sunlight pouring in from in front and
Ooh!
always behind, as it should be.
Beautiful. Well, look, as always, we are here to open a delivery from my mailman.
Special order 66.
Do it.
Execute. What have we got, Benjamin? What have we got?
For episode 66, I have been sent a kind donation from Tom Donaldson. He's got my back.
I'm getting more donations than actual purchases at this stage.
At the moment, it's half and half, but he is essentially drip feeding me, and I hope he doesn't turn the tap off.
What a legend.
Oh, I'm just going to squeeze this bad boy. Here we go. Can you guess what it is yet?
Mate. Oh, I know.
It's issue 12, March 8th, 1983. As Legolas says in The Fellowship of the Ring, this comic is old. Very old.
You're going to have to give me a context on that because I only ever watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy once in cinema and never revisited.
I think that puts you in a wild percentile.
Okay.
That hit a lot of people, man, in the major feels, that trilogy, but just skimmed the surface for you. Just saw it. I have to say, my rewatches have massively slowed. I was a full fanboy, and it's kind of dissipated over time. So it's probably been like 5 years since I watched them. But I was like yearly rotation. But I was massively in love with the book, and yeah.
There's too much else to watch now, I guess, to have a yearly rotation.
Content down the pipe. Most of the content is garbage. This isn't, though. But I tell you, man, when you pick up these old books, 1983, I struggle to get my head that far back. I was a 2-year-old pup. But there was a toy line out. The comic was, well, a year old. Unreal. Anyway, I'm going to open it up I'm going to smell it before I take you back in time.
Yes.
Oh. Has childhood changed? Look at that ad.
You've got different ads to me. You've got
that's because, my friend, I'm a barcode battler.
Yeah,
and what are you?
I got black suited
reprints.
Third printing, maybe.
Third printing. Oh, no.
I've read somewhere that third printings had black Spidey. First printings had regular sort of webhead Spidey.
Tutankhamun, the home video game you've waited 3,000 years for. In 1983, that would have pumped your nads, and you would have been excited about the mystique. I just don't think that is doing anything for anyone in today's climate. It's a colourful, beautiful ad.
A token gameplay sort of rendition. Because that's what you're getting. Like, don't beat around the bush. You're not getting graphics that approximate that gorgeous Pharaoh.
I tell you what, they soon got rid of that in video game ads. They were like, guys, stop showing that box.
But I will never get tired of seeing like Parker Brothers, a board game company, with a video game development arm. Like, this is a Parker Brothers TV game. Crazy to think.
But that was, that's where they would be looking. If you had board games, you'd be like, okay, video games. Do we pivot? What do we do?
I don't think on the wall, and that the market share is trending towards the electronic. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there would have been naysayers though, wouldn't there? There would have been people being like, "This will never take off."
Parker Brothers, what do they do? Do they do Cluedo? Ooh, smelly.
Yeah, really visceral. Wait.
Blood and guts.
God, I'm just taking in all the spine there.
I'm going to sniff my copy then.
Dude, please do. And imagine if we sync up with our palates, our tasting notes. It's a bit like a wine tour, this. Have you ever been on a wine tour?
I don't have the vocabulary to...
I feel like you're in the right region, man.
Absolutely in the right region, but yeah, dude, not my jam, dude. It's too touristy. I have done plenty of wine tours, but just incidentally, just.
God, look at that! When you hold it like that, what a colourful, lovely, joyous book to pick up from the newsstand. What a lovely. Mine is in really good condition. Right, tasting notes. It kind of, God, it smells like. When we poured concrete all over our garden, they did a bad job, and we get this puddle that is the bane of my life, that I have to go and sweep the puddle away. And when it's there for too long, it gets stagnant and it smells. And this book smells like that dank, stagnant, like body of water. What are you getting from yours? You certainly wouldn't want to drink it.
No, mine just smells of the sweet.
Listen to this
pangs
guy.
Of nostalgia. Like, it smells like an old book, but there's a sweetness to it.
Everything tastes sweeter in Cape Town. You're coming through loud and clear.
This is my childhood copy. So it smells of whatever good vibes I was kind of putting into it while I was pouring these pages.
Childhood copy.
9.
Wow. So you're trying to tell me you picked up an issue 12 in the 90s?
Yeah, but this is the same shop that I bought a boxed Tomahawk in 2010. Like, they just have old stuff, all priced with their, like...
I'm sorry,
they
but this
really
shop...
adjusted the prices.
This shop, again, could be a Roald Dahl book. It's this is some kind of magical shop where your desires...
It ain't magic anymore, unfortunately.
No, it's gone under.
If you go in there, it's quite sad. You're going to see just cheap knockoffs from China.
Oh.
Like, really cheap. Like, the dollar store kind of toys that you would find.
Well, then it's not sad. You're trying to tell me that it's still standing.
Yeah, it's still standing.
Then that is Dude,
But
come
they
on.
used to have a back catalog of toys that would blow your mind. Stuff being sold in the mid 2010s that dates back to the early 90s. Stuff
No,
like that. Mighty Max. You
you're
would
being
find
too
Mighty Max.
harsh. You're being too harsh. The fact that they are there is the story, dude. That's insane. Come on. Like, what? No shops last that long. That's insane. So you can actually go in there and tread the same boards.
In this exact issue of GI Joe, I've got an order form. I don't know if you do, but there's an order form that has various different like physical locations of comic book stores. And I thought to myself, let's find out if they still exist. Haven't acted on it just yet.
Can you
but
show
like,
up
the names are so great.
Can you show this order form?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You know, like us newsstand guys, it's a very different landscape.
Marvel Supermart. That's Spidey
Okay.
peering over there. And yeah, there's a store in California called Another World. Colorado's got Castle Comics. Florida has Sunshine Comics 3.
No, I do
Georgia,
not
you
have
can
that.
find Castle Comics again.
No, I don't have that. I have different pages.
Of course.
I've got comic book and science fiction film conventions. Yeah, I
If
don't
you're in
have
New
that.
York, let me know if Fourth World Comics still exists.
Right.
Amazing.
We are looking for a few good boys and girls who would like to earn their own spending money, earn neat prizes, gain practical business experience, grit. What?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look, this is... No, I've got very different pages, dude. But look,
Seen
us
that ad before though. What
us-
a time.
newsstand collectors, we are a different breed, S-Jubs. Very different breed. We're serious.
Anyway, take us back, Ben. Take us
Yeah,
back. I feel
I'll
like
take
we
you
need some
back.
context from
Now, this is
1983.
a first for me because normally I know all of the box office films inside and out, and I have not seen a single one of these films from March the 8th, 1983, top of the box office, Tootsie. Never seen it. Heard of it. That's a musical, is it? I don't know. No idea.
Goldie Hawn.
Tootsie,
No.
yeah, possibly. High Road to China, never heard of it. Gandhi, never saw it.
I
And
think I've seen it once. My father rented it.
and
That's
they
the one with oh geez, I'm blanking on the name. The guy who plays
the British actor.
yes, Ben Kingsley.
Yes, that's it.
Didn't he
Sir
get
Ben
an Oscar for
Kingsley. And They Call Me Bruce. I tell you what, we wouldn't be seeing any of those films, so we'd just get straight back in the car, put on the radio. Billie Jean was number one forever back then. And I'm going to take you, I'm not going to do the comic shop today, I'm going to take you to the arcade. Massive video game for me and my brother, Spy Hunter. Interestingly enough, whilst researching it, it was actually being produced as a James Bond game. And then, I don't know, they couldn't quite get the license, so they just skinned it differently. But we had it on the C64, but in the arcades, it actually was a stand-up, had kind of a, not a steering wheel, but like a cool F1 thing almost.
Knight Rider control, basically.
Yeah. A bit like the Star Wars game, the X-Wing control. Do you remember Spy Hunter? We loved it.
I remember Road Warrior, which was what came later for home consoles.
That was very, very similar, wasn't it? That was like the same game.
Yeah, but inferior. I mean, Spy Hunter, you had weapons.
Yeah.
Drive up into the truck, like
Yes.
Spy Hunter was a cool one, and that just never appeared on any of the cartridges that we had.
I'm blanking on the theme tune, but it was like a song, like a famous... I can't think what it was.
Wow.
Anyway, it will come to me. What was Spy Hunter music? Me and my brother loved it. Anyway, toys. This is interesting. So we're going to go straight to the GI Joe 1983 line.
Peter Gunn theme.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Not Peter
You
Gunn
were
theme.
you were close. You were onto something. It's on the tip of my tongue. Eh. That's it. Oh, I'm getting pangs.
Wow!
Yeah, that's it.
So cool hearing it through like crude
Yes.
1983 arcade cabinet.
That was just how I wanted to hear it. So look, GI Joe 1983. Peripherals. We all know the figures. Talk to me about your knowledge of Battle Armor Snake. Now, I just researched the hell out of this thing. Accessories, armor pieces, neutralizer weapons. Came out in 1983. The Battle Armor Snake was basically a set of armor that the figure could fit inside. It was reissued in 1984, but with a new packaging and darker color. I need this in my collection. It looks incredible. I'm always interested in any kind of mech or...
It's something short of a mech. It's powered armor.
It's powered, yeah, so it's not a mech, is it?
Terrifying to separate the halves now. I keep thinking I'm going to break these pegs, but they're actually quite sturdy. My favorite detail? Cockpit stickers. You've got a little control panel.
HUD.
A little screen.
HUD.
A HUD. Now,
I'm disappointed you can't actually see the figure in there, though.
No, I can put one in. But I wanted to draw your attention to this nefarious detail on the back. There's a sticker inside, and it's actually called out either on the blueprints or the box back. I can't remember. Maybe both. But that is a mobile brainwave scanner device.
Oh, wow. What,
that
just
will
constantly...
brainwash whatever figure you put inside to being Cobra. So you can do something insidious and very Cobra and put a Joe inside the armor.
Yes.
And have him walking around. I don't know how the other Joes would know that it's a Joe. Maybe this viewplate is actually...
God, so it's almost like a prison capsule. It's not... Yeah, that is... it's terrifying.
Well, you wanted to see it with a figure in it, so forgive me. I'm going to...
It fits so well with 1983. There's a massive kind of science fiction twang with that toy. Like it
comes with a little rubber stand, so you don't have to necessarily always sacrifice a figure in order to play with it. But there are people that hate this thing.
No, I can see why, because the line didn't really go that route, but it's a very interesting entry, I think.
Who should we put inside it? Cobra Blue Shirt?
It's disappointing you can't see their face through the... Because the fact that you can't actually see the fig in there kind of almost makes it pointless.
All right, I've got a really brown Storm Shadow. Let's see how he fits.
Whoa, that is the most smoker's white Storm Shadow I have ever seen. It's almost like he's been dry brushed.
He is grimola.
Dude, that's...
I'm just going to do the top half. So you've got the arms in here. They kind of... slot in. They've got actually removable sort of rubber pieces. That's a piece that could be easily lost.
It's almost like a kind of Iron Maiden, isn't it? It's almost like it's
now, torture device.
You've sort of changed how I feel about it. It's almost like a torture device. You're doing something against your will.
I think Storm Shadow might need sort of re-brainwashing. He's started to show signs of dissent.
Yeah.
Very true to character. So they slam him in the snake. And, I mean, once it's sealed up, you're right. The big detractor is you can't...
That could so be a Star Wars Kenner accessory. Like, it really is close.
But the figure's in, and he's not going to slide out, I don't think. He's kind of secure. But it is wobbly, and it's not the best, most elegant solution, but it does the trick. And looks very signature Cobra, kind of like a really squat, really wide skeletal thing. Like it's got that
but that visor screams Biker Scout and Kenner Star Wars to me.
Bit of an awkward weapon storage. Like you've got additional attachment points that can interchange with the fists, but they just poke off the back like that.
Yeah, not having them vertically is strange.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
Corner
that's
book
so
cuts,
interesting that I didn't expect you. I honestly did not expect you to have that at all. Now, let's see if you've got this next one. I'm not really that familiar with this. GI Joe Headquarters Command Center, the playset from 1983. He does have
We're
it.
back there, but now it's out of reach, off camera, to my right. Sorry, pal.
Sort of thing that I would have loved as a kid because it's Billy Basic. It's just a walled fort, effectively. Feels like you could just put that anywhere.
It kind of hits all your quadrants of like play. You've
Yeah.
got a nerve center with computers. You've got a place to park vehicles. You've got weapon systems galore for guys to man, and then you've got a jail. Now, to cramp that all into one thing means that your jail is right next to your nerve center. Maybe not the smartest move, but at least you've got these vignettes that you can play. It's very adaptable in that sense. Yeah, it's a great base of operations.
Yeah,
Yours
when I
is
was
the
looking at it,
EP, but this was mine.
I thought, boy, you could have some fun playing with this thing. Like attack and defend. It just seems built for that.
It also feels like it's obviously representative of a bigger thing. You could play it in scale, like it's this prefab fort. We will see in this very comic book it's seeing that use. But you could also kind of play it as a sort of scaled down or zoomed out version of the GI Joe headquarters from the cartoon.
Very much,
It had this sloped facade.
You know, if you had two of them, if you were some kind of spoiled brat, you could easily position those to look, you know, like bigger, more evolved. Yeah, I mean, it's not modular, but
child, I would have gotten nails and hammer out and get some planks of wood, and I would have gone about doing that. It would look pretty crude, but it would have had the scale and the heft.
That's it, the scale.
Of the GI Joe cartoon base.
Yeah, it's interesting, man, when you think you know these lines, but it's just so much more just than the big vehicles of that year and the action figure line. Like, all the peripherals are so interesting. I mean, we could go on and on. There's so many there. But we actually have to get in to issue 12. Cover, my first note just says Steamboat Willie. They're on a old school steamer.
Yeah, a wooden hull even.
A wooden hull. I like the green font matching the kind of danky green ocean. I like the orange. I like all of the jet trails that we're getting. But that is technically a panel from the comic book, but Snake Eyes is not there when this scene is happening inside the issue.
But you got to get him on the cover, right?
You
Even
have to.
Stalker's given like first billing. Definitely mugging for the camera.
Yeah.
My note on this cover was, because I got my issue 12 at this dusty old toy shop.
Yeah.
I always thought that my issue was sun faded. But no, the ombre of the cover is in the print. It fades from this very faint pink all the way to kind of a deep red. And I guess that's just the spacing of the red dots. We can maybe...
Yeah.
Lovely technique.
I always think all of your comics look faded, but I think
but
that's
this one
just
more so than most.
Yeah. I think that's just the hue of your I don't know, the lighting in your room, because
just the age of my paper, boy. But it's nice to know that actually this is an effect on the cover, and it makes it quite striking. It makes it look even older than it is, I think.
You would never believe that the book I'm holding was from 1983. The condition that it's in, it's pristine. Pristine. Right, that's all we've got to say about the cover. I've got a lot to say about the opening few pages. But before we do that, do you want to give us one of your famous synopsises?
GI Joe stumble onto a Cobra plot to smuggle missile guidance chips out of the country. So they send Stalker, Snake Eyes, Gung Ho, and Breaker, who's seen the Cobra courier first close up and will be able to hopefully identify him. They go to Sierra Gordo, and I think this is the first time we have visited Sierra Gordo chronologically in the GI Joe run. Anyway, they rub shoulders with Dr. Venom and Quinn. The Baroness is there. The Joes try and stop Cobra, but actually get bombed by her seaplane. Snake Eyes and Dr. Venom and Quinn are ostensibly vaporized by a bomb from the seaplane. And it turns out the whole plot was actually a plot to smuggle a serum out of the country. A serum that, when introduced to a vial of Dr. Venom's bacteria, will create this ultimate biological weapon that they're trying they're trying to keep it under wraps by using this missile guidance chip story, which I thought was interestingly convoluted.
Oh, well, I had an absolute blast reading this issue. Great synopsis. Who is on the art sticks? Vosberg? Mike Vosberg. So we start with San Francisco. We are evoking all of the famous car chases. The Rock, Steve McQueen, Bullet. Is it the Bullet? The really famous San Fran one?
I think it's I think it's in Bullet.
It is.
French connection isn't in San Fran.
He's managed to capture all of that in this opener. We've got Golden Gate in the background. We've got the famous hills of San Fran, and we are just straight in to an amazing high-speed chase down through San Fran. And what do you get in every decent high-speed chase? You get these great civilian moments, and you get a couple straight up right out of a Smokey and the Bandit or a James Bond film. What that Video Corp van does to that car is incredible. It cuts it clean in half, and the guy in his sandals, he finds it hilarious, and he's still in his chair. That is pure James Bond, S-Jubs.
What amazes me to this day is that this guy looks like some kind of punk. Is this what people with money dressed like in the 80s?
Well, no, I think there's a lot going on there. Yeah, because it's the sandals, it's the punk, but then he's also got a shirt and tie. Is he a yuppie?
Is this commentary on like what people in San Francisco look like?
Massively. It absolutely is.
He's
that.
an East Coast boy, and this is
zany, far out, like liberal. Yeah, but that's just a fantastic moment, and then
like it might be. We probably are not contemporary enough to the time to know who this is.
No,
because he's clearly someone like a punk rocker from the early 80s. He's got a safety pin through his one ear.
That is clearly a nod to someone that we do not know who that is.
I did catch the reference to Wendy O. Williams, who is the real life basis for Zorana.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So on the radio, when this guy is parked and he's about to have his car smashed, it says, "Stay tuned for more live coverage as the fabulous Wendy O trashes an XKE Jaguar with a sledgehammer." I guess she was famous for like stunts like that. She was a punk musician, but I guess had that kind of personality or reputation.
Yeah.
And then he thinks, because his Jag, I guess this is a Jag, because it gets smashed, he thinks he's part of the show. So he's secretly quite like chuffed about this. I guess he thinks he's gonna maybe get his car back from Wendy O. Like, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird reaction. Maybe he's taken something.
the idea of being in such a horrific accident and being that level of chill as you're sat on the asphalt in your car seat is amazing. But then we get another one that is actually way more kind of Roger Moore, James Bondy. It's so indulgent. We get treated to this joyous vertical panel, which only really goes to show just the length of the road, the time it's going to take. And you've got this couple that, is she stalled it? I think she has stalled it. For crying out loud. What's her name? Ennis. You stalled it. You stalled it dead. Oh my God. A jiffy. Eunice. A jiffy. Eunice. This is some long jiffy you're taking. Oh, just be patient, Fred. I mean, this is all just great car chase stuff. And then we get crash zooms on the Cobra goons that are driving it. And their eyes. Oh, it's just a great cold open, isn't it, to an issue?
Always found that term to be a bit misleading. Cold open. This is anything but still, yeah, dude, this is wonderful stuff. Humor, action, the setting. I know you love a real world setting.
I do. Well, look, we cut from, this is a big question I have in my notes. Oh, before we get to that, clandestine Cobra in that vehicle. Do you like those moments, or do you prefer balls out of the bath? They're hooning around in a hiss tank. Like, do you like Cobra doing these secret missions? And
I don't just like, I love.
You love, yeah.
I think it's perhaps something you obsess about more as an older child, even a near teen. That Cobra can't be riding around in his tanks, conducting domestic U.S. operations. Like, sure, put them in their blue uniforms. That's fine. We don't need a roster of like Cobras in civilian clothes, but make them ride vans, blacked out vehicles.
Yeah, that's what I like. It feels small and kind of 80s TV-ish. What are Cobra up to this week? It's not always going to be humongous land, sea and air battles.
And
it's going to be
how you can incorporate indoor play. I mean, you can't always chuck your toys in the garden or take them down to the stream. If you want to play an urban setting and it's indoors kind of weather, you're playing in the couches, on the carpets, in the cupboards, and you need vehicles that look germane to that setting. So I had lots of Playmobil vehicles, and I had the Bionic 6 Mules van.
That's lovely. See, that's what I was about to lament, is that I didn't have that type of play in my locker because I just didn't have access to generic vehicles in that way. But I know that I would have loved to have put a couple of like Crimson Guards in a black van and done some, the dynamic of
by having Playmobil as a blind spot in your collecting.
But can I tell you the key with this? What I don't want is my Joes chasing them in a civilian vehicle. I love that they're the goodies. They're the heroes. They can be in whatever they want, in their vehicles. I love that, and I love how the visual of how that looks. It almost makes them feel not superhero-ish, but like a special team, which is exactly what they are. It brings me to my next point. In these early issues, I do quite like how we get these cold cuts to the generals in the room with the overview. You always get this in TV shows or films, and I still quite enjoy this assemble your team. Like, let's put a specific team together, and I just kind of like, again, it feels like an 80s TV show. I wouldn't have hated GI Joe if it kept to
The
this formula. I wouldn't have hated it. This kind of like select your team, but you don't necessarily know where they're coming from. I guess you have to introduce their base eventually, but there's a random nature to it, and there's a mystique that I really do love.
And not to mention a toyetic side as well.
Massively.
Because
like I have that
these
one.
very collectible. It's like, I want to have the team that went to Sierra
Yes.
Gordo in issue 12. I need Breaker, I need Stalker, I need
Yeah.
Snake Eyes, I need Gung Ho.
Look, that might get tired after a while, but for introducing new players, it works great because you don't have to do too much heavy lifting. It's just like I like the mystique of it, and I kind of like the why have they chosen these guys? Like how do their skills complement each other for this specific mission? And you get panels like this in these early issues. You get quite a few of them before this whole they ditch this, and we start seeing more of Joe's in the pit and doing the day-to-day, and yeah. But
I guess it never overstayed its welcome, and that's why we have a hunger for it. We still have a thirst to see more of this kind of format.
From Larry's point of view, it makes so much sense, and it must have freed him up massively initially as you're writing this book to have this formula. It's like, okay, we can do this. I've got a lot of moving parts, but yeah, we can introduce people like this. Quite like it, and I would love it for a cartoon format. I think it works even better for that. A bit like Mask, I guess. They're all doing their day jobs, and then their wristwatches go off, and it's like, whoa, drop everything, we're being assembled. And
I find that always a highlight of an episode of Mask. It's like, what's Alex Sector up today? Oh, he's
yeah, they're
feeding the
just like,
crocodiles.
they're just doing day jobs, or they could be doing anything.
Yeah,
there is something that the kid in me, why do I like that? Why do kids like that? It's because you like to see that they are part of regular life, but they have this whole secret kind of existence going on. It's the secret nature of it, I think. Rather than just have them be an arm of the military. Is that exciting enough? Another faction.
Mask characters, GI Joe characters, all of these are tied to action figures that you wanted to imbue more life into. They weren't just anonymous green army men on the carpet. These were fully posable, uniquely accessorized, uniquely backstoried figures. And yeah, if you devoted sequences showing off their backstories or their day-to-day, that would just add to your imagination fuel. So that's why an episode like Captives of Cobra is so important, because we see into Barbecue's life, and we see into Shipwreck's life, and we see into Scarlet's life and Spirit's life. Those characters are made even more important and more interesting when you're sifting through your toy box because of stuff like that. And yeah, we see it here. We see it in issue 2, Panic at the North Pole, where everyone has their backstory and they're being pulled out of them. We don't get that again this time. I think, yeah, they're cutting down on the tedium. But yeah, Mask heavily leaned into that formula. I want to just break from this and ask you if you noticed an Easter egg on the kind of the Situation Room panel or page. I'm kind of gonna leave it on screen right now. It's a screen within a screen, I guess. So behind.
Are you talking about the Quinn?
Yes, it's a scrap of the box carton that the chips were inside, that was recovered at the car crash, and it said destination Naja Trading Corp, Plaza della Serpiente, Rio Lindo, Republic of Cerro Gordo. Attention, Senor K. Win.
Yeah.
Which is just clever enough for a kid to get it. And thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry, for making me feel clever, for smoothing that one out.
Yeah, feeling clever in 19. When do you reckon you picked this up? 91, 2?
It was a bit after that, maybe 3 or 4, 93 or 4. I was still a
Wow.
child, man.
Yeah, no, for sure you were.
Mm-hmm.
My notes. I absolutely love Stalker's get up in in his opening few panels. He is absolutely rocking a look.
Miami Vice, man.
It's
A white
pure
suit.
80s. There's a
A
lot
white
of
suit with a
white
pink
suits.
shirt, great, but then he tops it off with that white Stetson.
Come
Oh,
on,
boy.
the hat is off the charts. It's probably not even necessary, but boy, is it necessary. I got here in my notes. Do you think it bugs people that if you get assigned Snake Eyes as your partner, that the non-talking thing, he's not doing sign, he's not writing things down. You have to interpret everything that he's feeling from his body language.
I guess you quickly learn to trust it, and you're like, actually, this guy's so good.
Do you just lean into it? You think you just lean into it?
It's just like having maybe a dog as your partner, canine officer.
Good.
You can't communicate verbally with your partner, but like you can read them, and you know to trust their instincts. So you just let Snake Eyes off the leash, man. And
I love that.
Gung Ho is essentially Snake Eyes' backup. Totally.
Yeah. No, I like that dog analogy. Never thought about it like that. They have so much respect for him that he's earned that kind of mystique.
And
It's just
look, let's be fair. Like, if you're in the combat situation, most of your communication should probably be nonverbal anyway.
yeah.
So Snake Eyes is absolutely adept with silently communicating with the unit. We
Well,
don't see it on the panel because that would probably be clunky, but he was a long-range recon patrolman, and Gung Ho is a sort of recon marine. Like, these guys are used to operating very quietly, which makes it an interesting contrast that Gung Ho has set up a hammock. He's not looking into the city at all, into the town of Rio Lindo. He's like just racking out, man.
Have you got a hammock in your yard in Cape Town? I personally love a hammock.
I've had enough hammock incidences in the backyards for that hammock to be permanently taken down.
What?
I think Grandma got into it at one point and got right out the other side.
No, I don't let my mum go anywhere near my hammock, but I like a hammock for reading. I get a lot of reading done in my hammock. It's so giant. It's so giant that it kind of comes up at the sides and cocoons you. And you can get very cozy in that hammock. Dr. Venom is in this issue. He's all over this issue.
Make this figure.
I know, yeah. He's got a very distinctive face. Everything about him is distinctive. Feels like a big player. Just no kind of lab coat figure was released this year of this guy.
Yeah. Well, look, he's a necessary component for every plot line, be it in the cartoon or the comic book. But I guess a lab-coated figure just does not an interesting action figure prospect make. Like.
Yeah, but if you were reading month to month, you would have probably been surprised there wasn't a figure.
Sure.
Because he feels like an A player.
Absolutely.
At this point, like it's.
But bear in mind, Ben, there wasn't even a Baroness figure at this point.
Truth. Yeah, yeah.
Was waiting to be filled out, and the overlords of Hasbro were the ones calling the shots.
Which is always the way though with lines, isn't it? Like you feel like the villains are a little thin. You get the big bad, initially, and then you pad it out later.
You used as your Dr. Venom in 1983. You probably would have pulled from the Star Wars box.
Yeah, like a dignitary or.
Oh yeah.
Because it's interesting with Star Wars. Like we had a load of General Veers, but he wasn't carded General Veers. We just thought he was generic Attack Commander or, but yeah, it was
he called
fun.
out in the? I mean, I don't know Star Wars well enough, but was he actually called out as General Veers on the packaging, or do they
No,
call it Attack Commander?
I think Attack Commander, I
There
think.
you go.
But yes, there was, in that Kenner line, there were so many officers, dignitaries that you could actually very nicely fill up your upper echelons of the Empire and make it look really varied and different with all the different kind of figs. Yeah, couldn't really do that with Cobra. But I've got here in my notes, he likes the smell of his own farts. He's referring to referring to himself in the third person quite a lot.
What, when he's interrogating Snake Eyes?
Yeah, where is it? Well, yeah, he's interrogating him, and then he
Nobody
smashes
has
him.
to strike Dr. Venom.
Yeah, and he's got such a great name. It's bizarre he didn't have a fig with a name like that. Yeah, but I know that you like this dynamic of Quinn, Venom, and Snake Eyes.
You wouldn't think of them as a trio up until this issue. But
Yeah.
boy howdy, does it make for such a wonderful dynamic of shifting allegiances. I
Yeah.
wished I had read G.I. Joe more chronologically and not jumped around, because I already had an issue in hand establishing Snake Eyes and Quinn as kind of an uneasy alliance. Or not even an uneasy alliance. It seemed like a very comfortable alliance. They both seemed quite virtuous. But at this stage of the run, I think you're still aware that Quinn is a dangerous, very potent, like, mercenary. He works for the bad guys. He's working for Cobra. He worked for Cobra before. He might have this kind of honor about him, but ultimately, like, he's not on the good guys' side. So, I wished I had not already peered into, and seen that he and Snake Eyes became sort of pals, because it robbed him of some of his menace and his danger.
I feel like
He
Doctor
quite quickly hands the Joes their asses with a 30 caliber Browning machine gun. He hits not a single piece of meat.
I know.
Wrecks Gung Ho's grenade launcher, puts a bullet through his cap just to stop him from getting any wise ideas. He cuts Breaker's like satchel off his shoulder, the satchel that holds guns and ammo. Like, the only thing he doesn't hit is Snake Eyes' Uzi, because he's already noticed as he walked in the room the Uzi was dry. Like,
Click.
This guy's insane. Just
Yeah.
in one page, he's made out to be some kind of like god with that weapon.
Well, the reality is that before Joe's bleeding out on the floor there, screaming.
Yeah. This guy went full auto and hit only like the Joe's means of fighting back.
I'm surprised that, Venom, his character is so dastardly. You'd think that when the Cobra Trooper is saying that Snake Eyes is dead, you'd figure he'd just put one in his head. You'd figure he'd just put one in his head, make sure the job is done. But no. Are we led to believe that Snake Eyes is going into his deep ninja like holding state of lowering his heart rate?
Yeah, the inner anvil, I think they call it out eventually.
Oh, do they call it out in this? Okay.
So they did it in issue 10. The first time we see Dr. Venom, he pulls the same trick. So Venom's been fooled by it twice. But just to come back to your earlier point, Ben, I think the reason Venom doesn't just plunk a Luger round into Snake Eyes' head and just be done with it is because Quinn is there, and Quinn has his personal assurance is that no one dies.
Yeah.
Until the contract is fulfilled. Like, that even goes for the good guys. So how is this guy able to keep that contract up? I don't know. He's got plot armor that extends over everyone at this point.
Yeah. I think there's something about, like, in the playground, we always used to go on about ninjas being able to lower their heart rate. Like, that was actually in the zeitgeist. We'd
You think it
always...
was issues like this that did that?
Yeah, we'd always act that out. It would always be the fake out death ninja thing was a thing. So you are not surprised when you read it in stuff. Like, because it was just like one of their main skill sets was, oh, did you know that a ninja can lower their heart rate to such a level? It's just such a strange thing for a bunch of kids to have knowledge of and discuss regularly in the playground or in play.
It tells you how massive ninjas were in the 80s and early 90s. But I think to anyone, those two people out there screaming at their radios saying, it's not the inner anvil, it's the sleeping phoenix. Was it the sleeping phoenix? That makes a lot of sense.
I've got
to resurrect yourself.
I've got a real sleeping phoenix. Jesus, that kid never wants to get out of bed.
But brother, my notes, if I was to take any, would probably go to the tune of like Snake Eyes burns his face again. Is it just like a case of, okay, well, he's already a burn victim, so he can actually have his face on fire?
And yeah, I do like...
It's already ruined.
I do like the ramping up of this. You know, his face is so grotesque. It horrifies people to see it. It's not just, you know, a little bit bad. It's like horrific. So you do get that, you know, that mystique that they are building into Snake Eyes in these early issues is palpable. And yeah, like, what are you meant to think there? You're like, well, has he burnt it again? Or is it actually, it's like, no, nothing's happened to his face this time round. It's just that bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got Rio Lindo denizens who are all looking on aghast as the sort of still on fire Snake Eyes jumps off the pier and into the river and disappears ostensibly. But like later on, he confiscates a boat and the boatman goes, I mean, the sight of Snake Eyes is so horrific that he's like, "Aye, a river demon." I mean, it's convenient, I guess.
A river demon.
But what must this guy's face look like? Beyond just burnt. It must be monstrous.
I tell you though, I bet Larry's having fun with all of that stuff. Because he's kind of like, well, I could just keep this going. And maybe reveal it. You know, maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't, but what a great time.
He's painting himself into a corner because the ultimate reveal is disappointing in that it's not the most grotesque thing you've ever seen.
No.
And Larry then has to backpedal in the letters pages saying that, like, you know, the healing rates of burn victims vary. It might have taken years and years to get to this point, and okay, it looks palpable now, or palatable now, I should say.
Yeah, but this is heady days, issue 12, the infancy of this run.
Well, it's fun, dude. Why does a guy always keep the mask on? Because his face is so hideous, it would have turned the stomachs of even his allies.
Yeah.
So, useful.
Very useful. I kind of... What do we think about Baroness in this issue? Taking off in that beautiful seaplane.
No, you like it?
Well, I mean...
It's gonna be hokey.
Well, no, we're in this amazing time where they're just, you know, you slap a Cobra badge on anything, and there you go. You got yourself a Cobra seaplane right there. I don't know where they. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know where they're getting the. I mean, it doesn't look like there's any decent straights in that river to get some throttle up and actually take off.
Well, if you.
What do you think you have to do?
Straight, it just leaps into the air.
It just leaps. Do you reckon, what you got to do in a plane to take off the water? You got to be going 120 miles an hour? I don't know.
Oh, a plane like that would probably need...
do you need less or more?
Say, probably 80 or 90 knots.
Oh,
that's a jet plane. It's heavy.
This guy talks in knots because he's...
So that would be...
seafaring.
Miles, that'd be like... Well, I can convert to kilometers per hour.
It's the same, dude, isn't it? Is it not the same?
Statute miles, no. A knot is 1 minute of longitude.
Dude, you would know yourself Like, you know your way around a boat. That's
I've flown small planes before, but yeah, I'd say
jeez.
this thing you got to do it like maybe 150 kilometers per hour to get airborne.
Now she bunker busters that bunker.
Yes. Oh, I love a bombing run. Though they call it out as a air to ground missile when it's clearly a bomb. Um,
Yeah.
there's no missile propulsion on that. Baroness has just kind of dive bombed onto that boat.
Yeah.
So I love what Vosberg is doing here.
Every time I see that boat, I just whistle that. I've actually
Disney will
got.
never let you forget it now because
We
they applied that, didn't they, to
we
their openings
we've got the
in order to
steamboat
maybe
Willie.
retain the public domain on it. Is that
We've
what they
got
did it for?
we've got the Lego
Oh,
steamboat
right.
Willie. It's great because it's all monochrome. Super cool.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I had I still have a Playmobil kind of pirate ship, which was my stand-in
Mm.
for this steamboat, and I excavated a portion of the garden to make this riverine setting.
Oh,
I
bravo,
put a
S
bunker in the middle,
Jubs.
like sort of had a central island because I just love this setting so much, Ben.
I
Having
love
this
it too. It screams like what you did. It just looks like a kid's setup. It
yeah.
just and even when who's describing it? I
Oh, it's
love.
the best.
I just love
The
how
layers of defense. It's Dr. Venom. He's like,
yeah. It's so
three
small. It's
crack
just
Cobra
so
commandos and a missile-firing seaplane. An armored bunker surrounded by concertina wire. And a pair of vicious Dobermans.
well, in my head, I see the child's hands coming round and putting the fence round, and then I see them placing the two dogs down. Like, it's got a lovely toyetic nature to it.
Sounds like you're describing the commercial for this playset.
I like how small this is, you know? I just like how there's stakes, but it's not bombastic yet. You know, there's a charm to it, isn't there?
Yes.
And it's
Much early GI Joe has that charm.
yeah, and you know he's not wrong. But it's we know that you're dealing with Snake Eyes here, and
some very, very efficient rats.
oh the
Oh boy.
rats. It's a good shout though. It's a good shout. I mean, it's the sort of thing that I think I would think to do. I mean, but it's a 1 in 100 shot. But
Oh, more than that. I mean, this isn't even MacGyver. This is some kind of animal whisperer shit. I mean, Breaker's gum is smeared over the ropes that are restraining the Joes, and that's how he gets these rats to gnaw through the ropes. This is, heavy duty rope. But boy, oh boy, Gung Ho's plan works like a charm.
yeah,
The rats, they smell the sugar, and soon they are gnawing.
Vosberg's having fun drawing these little critters. Come on.
I'd say his rat illustration is strong. What do you think of the Dobermans? They look like something from Masters of the Universe.
I don't know. I think they look bang on. But yeah, they've got you're calling out the sort of ever so slightly red eyes. Yeah, they look like the hounds from hell.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, they got these kind of devilish, thorny teeth.
Yeah.
Ears kind of give you that devil visage. They look lean and mean, but Snake Eyes deals with them quite efficiently. We only see them kind of knocked out not off panel. We don't see them being knocked out. So that happens between the pages. But we see the effects of Snake
We know
Eyes.
how he did it though, dude. Come on.
What, clonking them together? Well, do you remember one of James Cameron's best, True Lies?
Yeah. Yeah.
Arnold does that to a pair of German shepherds.
Yes.
Clonks them together. And then he says, "Stay."
Yes. Does he do that in the white tux?
Was it white? I don't know. His escape sequence. I think it's a standard black tux, but maybe with a pop of red on the pockets. But yeah, he's running down the snowy hill, and a pair of German shepherds are after him, and he turns around, clonks their head together, and the line. Perfect delivery, as always, from the Schwarzenegger.
Well, speaking of perfect delivery, the bell is going, and I need to get myself onto kid duty because we have got a little one off poorly today. And my podcasting time is up, and Emma needs to talk to Lego. So,
Wow.
yeah. So
like
I absolutely have to dash. I was going to say sorry for cutting this one short, but we have been going for an hour, so I think we have delivered. But I will see you next week for episode 67 of Chasing Joe. Who knows what we'll be reading, but it's getting close to Christmas, I tell you that. You didn't even mention. Look.
It's a strange thing to see you in your Freddy Krueger sweater with a Christmas hat on. You are
down the alleyway, yeah? Practical. It's practical.
Indeed.
Right. Until next week.
Special Order 66, we are out of here.
Yay!